Kash Patel. 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strike, 4 strikes. How many strikes does he get till he's out? Well, whatever strike we're up to with him, apparently his girlfriend, Kash Patel's girlfriend, has now filed a $5 million lawsuit against none other than a podcaster who happens to be calling out Israel. Well, how about that? The FBI director pushes a lawsuit against a podcaster for $5 million. That seems like it should concern everyone, and it should. Let's look at the coverage from the Gray Zone, who broke this down. Excellent job by Max Blumenthal. By the way, here we go. Okay. Kash Patel's girlfriend files a $5 million lawsuit. It's against podcaster for a quote-unquote insinuation she's a Mossad honeypot, right? That's the language, that's the insinuation. But did the podcaster use this language? Well, even just according to the breakdown, apparently not, because it's an insinuation of language, and we know how that works. But let's see what actually went down here. Okay, mired in scandal over his leadership, which we know. The FBI director is lashing out against MAGA influencers for mocking his girlfriend as a Mossad honeypot and activating his legal network to slap them with frivolous multi-million-dollar lawsuits. The win was that Kash Patel's back in the early months of 2023. It was during this period that the Trump-aligned legal operative met Alexis Wilkins. She was 24 years old, a wannabe, I love this language, wannabe country music star who would then become his girlfriend, and launched his foundation called Fight with Kash, which pledged to unite America First patriots to fight the deep state. Ooh, how's that fighting coming along there, Kash? Captain Kash? How's that fight going? Okay. Well, the disgustingly baseless attacks against Alexis, a true patriot and the woman I'm proud to call my partner in life, are beyond pathetic. Patel, he complained on a Twitter post. This was back about a week and a half ago, November 2nd. Attacking her isn't just wrong, it's cowardly and jeopardizes our safety. Really? Really? Our safety? Interesting. Well, I'm sure these attacks must be really they must be violent. Words are violence, right? They must be threatening her life. I'm sure they're really, really bad for the FBI to get involved, right? Well, 5 days earlier, the law firm of Jesse Banal, Patel's personal lawyer and chair of his foundation, filed a bizarre lawsuit. We didn't hear about this lawsuit till last night, but apparently it was filed before he went off on Twitter on November 2nd. So we're just getting this news now. But the lawsuit, as the Gray Zone says, was bizarre. It was accusing right-wing podcaster Elijah Schaffer for having perpetrated a malicious lie about Alexis Wilkins, falsely claiming that she, an American-born country singer, is an agent of a foreign government assigned to manipulate and compromise the director. Kash says, I don't need anybody to manipulate and control me, compromise me. I can do it on my own. I don't need a girl to do that for me. How dare you? How dare you? Well, the suit also took aim at Schaffer because he, quote, frequently posts anti-Israel rhetoric, accusing Israel of controlling the U.S. and its politicians. Well, what kind of baseless claim is that? I mean, you should really make an example out of him, right? Banal did not respond to a request for comment from the Gray Zone, which they wanted to talk to the attorney. He doesn't want to talk to the Gray Zone. Of course he doesn't. Of course, he has other things to do. Okay. So this was in the actual lawsuit, which Gray Zone got their hands on and is showing to us that on item 17, article 17, defendant frequently posts anti-Israel rhetoric. Okay. Well, give us an example. Well, this is the example that they give in the lawsuit. I kid you not. This is it. Let's look at the post below from disclose.tv. It says new. This is from June 13th. So they're picking this from the summer. Israeli officials say Trump approved the Iran attack. We had a clear U.S. green light, adding reports of Trump restraining Israel were planted to deceive, while Trump and Netanyahu coordinated the attack in private. And that was from Axios. So this is officially being revealed on June 13th. And what does a good podcaster / indie media journalist do? They retweet the tweet and they quote tweet it. And this is what he said. And this is in a lawsuit that this is criminal. Okay. Trump doesn't want to admit that Netanyahu doesn't fear him. Israel has more control over the USA than we do over them. Our politicians are hook, line, and sinker sold out to the Jewish state regime. It's genuinely disheartening. We must remove these parasites from AIPAC. Well, if you disagree with that, why don't you engage in a debate and talk about how you think that Netanyahu is afraid? Okay, have an honest debate about that. If Kash, is that your take? You think Netanyahu is afraid of Trump? We know some people here that think Netanyahu is afraid of Trump. But he's not. I happen to agree with Elijah on this one, but still, it's just a debate. It's not anyone, nobody's doing anything illegal or criminal or that's worthy of a $5 million lawsuit. Are you effing kidding me? And here he is responding. Elijah Schaffer responds, I was just sued for $5 million over my ex posts criticizing Israel by FBI Director Kash Patel's inner circle. I've never engaged in defamation or illegal activity. Gross lawfare. This is an attack on free speech and an embarrassment to the FBI and Trump admin. Here is my response. You ready? He's going to do a good job. If you haven't heard of this guy Schaffer, Elijah Schaffer, now's a good time to pay attention because he definitely breaks this down very articulately. Here we go.
And I received concerning news that I was being sued for $5 million by Kash Patel's girlfriend, Alexis Wilkins. And the reason why might actually shock you. About a couple months ago, I posted this photo on the public social media platform X. I posted it with no caption, no suggestions of any malintent or any slander, defamation, or criticisms of character. I did so attached to an X post shared by another account that I'm not connected to that talked about government agents being compromised. Now Alexis Wilkins is saying that I owe her $5 million for damages, the exact evaluation of my company, and if I cannot come up with that money, that I'm going to have to shut down my business, give up all of my digital assets and my entire voice online in order to pay her back. So why does Kash Patel's girlfriend want to silence me? Well, it comes down to the lawsuit itself. Before anyone jumps to conclusions and says, well, don't say that she's a honeypot, I'd like to say, I never did. I never would. I never felt like suggesting that, never even suggested that.
I'll say it. She's a honeypot. That's my analysis. I don't have 100% proof, but that would be my analysis. At this point, seems like it to me. So I guess I should be expecting a $5 million lawsuit next. I'll be looking forward to it. But yeah, go ahead. If he didn't actually say it, that's even kind of worse. Isn't that insane that he didn't even say the thing? He didn't even do the thing. Wow.
In my own head. So why am I being sued for something I never did? To give proof of that, in section 14 of the lawsuit, it states, while the defendant may not have included any caption to spell out the meaning of his post, he didn't have to. Ever since Kash Patel was appointed as director of the FBI in February of 2025, the conspiratorial corners of the internet and social media have been spreading false narratives about Miss Wilkins as an Israeli Mossad agent, spy, or quote, honeypot, who is only in the relationship with Kash Patel to spy on and manipulate the United States government. Defendant's wordless reply, it goes on to say. So to clarify, before we go any further, if you post a public photo of a government official and his romantic partner, who he's not married to, a very important fact we'll talk about, you as a private citizen or a member of the press can be bankrupted, have your entire company shut down, or completely mocked, slandered, and dragged through lawfare because of what? Because of your First Amendment protected rights.
Wow. And he's got it right there. This is 100% accurate on the nose. And of course, we're not getting too many other people that haven't been involved, unless you're involved in this discussion. If you've been involved in the Charlie Kirk investigation and you're involved in the previously the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, if you've actually been doing the work and the research and understanding how this propaganda machine works, how this FBI controlled entity that Kash Patel was handpicked to be the puppet to pretend to go after the deep state. If you haven't been following that, then you're going to miss this story altogether. And you're not going to understand that what he's talking about, what Elijah's talking about here, we should all be concerned about. And you don't even have to know the details of Epstein, and you don't have to know the details of Charlie Kirk. What you do need to know is this is how taking a free speech works. It might be against somebody you don't give a shit about or don't like, or it's not your problem. Eventually, it will become your problem. So this should be everyone's problem, that an FBI director is capable of doing this. And even that the lawsuit exists, whether or not it goes the distance or not, the fact that it's been filed, what does that say about our FBI? What does that say about, well, we already know this. We know this, but we need more people to wake up from this. And I want to remind you, and whether we're halfway paying attention or not, you should. Most people agree at this point. It's hard to find someone who doesn't understand how bad of a job Kash Patel is doing. Even if you think Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk, even if you think that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, even if you think that there is no list and it was a Democratic hoax, or even if you're a Democrat and think that the only reason we don't have the Epstein list is because Trump's on there and that's the only reason, nothing to do with the Mossad. Even if you don't understand the stuff that Trump ran on, that he was going to have transparency, and the stuff that Kash Patel was gleefully talking about going into the job, that he was going to be the guy that shows us JFK files, shows us 9/11, everything was going to be exposed. But now he's got, what does he have? Fake text chains coming out about Charlie Kirk's apparent killer and his fake lover. What else does he have? Gag orders against people who can't talk about it. And now this Mossad, I'll call her Mossad girlfriend, suing influencers, suing podcasters. This guy has got a string of problems. But here's a reminder of something he said. This was shared out. I just want to remind you. He said this a few months ago. And watch this guy. Why does he always sniff? Why does he always do this? What is that? Like, I know we make fun of Zelensky and the people that look like they have major cocaine problems. I don't even know if this is I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's a cocaine problem, but it might be a tell, like a mental defective element in his brain, that when he's about to lie, how everybody has a little quirky thing they do. Poker players know how to do this. You find the thing, the little twitch, the little thing that they do. Go watch Rounders. John Malkovich, the poker player you couldn't beat. Matt Damon figured out how to beat him. It's the way he ate the Oreo. If he had a good hand, the good hold cards, the way he either took the Oreo off, he either ate the black part by itself, or he ate the filling. There was something he did, and Matt Damon discovered, oh, that's when he's bluffing. So I think there's something about the sniffing. I don't know. It doesn't look like a cocaine issue like Zelensky. It looks like, but you guys chime in on it. But here's Kash, and he's always sweating bullets, deer in headlights. But this is the transparency we're not getting at all.
Answer, in my opinion, is social media is wildly out of control, and there's too much clickbait in this country. And one of the things I highlighted at Congress in my testimony last week was, if we want to protect our youth, we got to get more involved in social media and online platforms, because that's where the folks, the assassins of this world, get radicalized. That's where they're the lone wolf actors in general. And so we have to get after that problem set. And I asked for Congress' help in doing so. But speaking of Charlie Kirk, who was a very dear friend of mine, and then I was tasked with leading the nationwide man.
A very dear friend of mine. Was he? Or what is that? I don't know. I can't handle the sniffing. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Hunt to find the perpetrators involved. Of course, we were going to use every resource we have to find every single person involved, and the investigation's still ongoing. But we, as one of the pillars of my leadership here at the FBI, is transparency.
Ha 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 ha! One of your pillars. You mean one of the things that was thrown in the garbage? That's what you mean. The garbage, that area. Where's the garbage? Where's the garbage section, Cash? What did you? Oh, you threw transparency in the freaking garbage. Got it.
We've produced more documents to Congress than my last two predecessors combined by twofold. Just to put it in perspective. So when we take our investigations out to the streets, I have the same ethos. And this is how we got Charlie Kirk's assassin.
They took it to the streets. Kash Patel took it to the streets. Yeah. That's how you got it. That's how you got Tyler Robinson. Yeah.
Alleged assassin so fast. The Boston Marathon bomber, which happened in downtown Boston
another psyop, but go ahead.
During the Boston Marathon, took 5 days, and there was a police officer was killed in that manhunt. Luigi Mangione, who allegedly murdered an individual, the CEO of the healthcare company, in downtown Manhattan in broad daylight.
Allegedly. Where's that? How's that trial going, by the way? How's that one going? The guy that went to McDonald's and ordered a Big Mac. Is that funny? They always end up at a fast food. We got him. They did the murder, and then they went to a fast food joint to change clothes and write manifestos and look into surveillance cameras and tell people I'm here. Take me. Oopsie daisy. So funny that you bring up Luigi on top. I should add Luigi to the list because we ain't getting that trial either. That's not how. It's so bizarre. So bizarre.
It took 5 days to find him. Our investigation is very much ongoing. But we've also, Armstrong, in an unusual thing, put out publicly more information as to what we found because it is.
More information. I got more information for you.
Of such public importance. The flip side of that is the social media people get involved and they come run with their crazy conspiracy theories because it makes them.
There we go. We love it when the FBI director calls us crazy conspiracy theorists. We love it. That means that you're on the up and up and you're really looking into things. When you like to bash people that want to dig and find answers. Love it. Love the name calling, dude. Love it.
Money. It gives them clickbait. And I don't work for them and I don't respond to them. My duty is to the American people.
Wait, but people on social media are the American people, but you only work for the ones that agree with you, that don't call you out, that don't hold you accountable. Yeah, sounds like that's what you're saying there, Cash. You only work for the people that don't hold you accountable. Got it.
If there was anyone else involved in Charlie Kirk's murder, you can look at our record. We'll find them and we'll get them.
Oh, you'll find them and you'll get them. Oh, then I'm sure you're questioning Netanyahu right now. You got him in a back room right now, asking him why he was the first one to report on Charlie Kirk's assassination. He was the first one to report that he died. Very interesting. Very interesting. Why don't you tell us how that interrogation is going? Or how that mural got up in Tel Aviv immediately, within hours, a mural to Charlie Kirk. Or whether this letter that took weeks to come out seemed to be a cherry-picking letter that didn't have a timestamp. Oh man, the list is so, you guys know the list. There's so many things. But yeah, Kash Patel crossing the line now with his girlfriend, his wannabe, as Max Blumenthal in the Gray Zone said, the wannabe country music star, is angry that she is being considered any sort of an insinuation that she might be a honeypot for the Mossad, with an incredible backstory that, by the way, that links her to the Mossad. But hey, I'm not telling you that. I'm just reporting that other people are telling you that. But you can slap us with a lawsuit too. Actually, that might be good for engagement. Go ahead. I'll call her a honeypot right now. Mossad honeypot. You heard me, Cash? Go grab us a $5 million lawsuit, and it might actually help us with some more engagement. Can't wait. Okay, we'll be waiting. We'll be waiting. The knock on the door in the service. I'll be waiting for it. Yes, can't wait.